Hi guys, welcome back to Linksci 201. Today we are going to talk about phonetics, and this will be the first lecture of the second part. We just finished the first part, the overview of linguistics. We understand what linguistics is from previous part, but we didn't discuss what we can do with linguistics knowledge. And I want to tell you something more about that now. Um, I'm going to name some usages of linguistics. This will be an open list. There could be more purposes or usages that you can do using linguistics. Um, First of all, maybe we can understand human mind by studying human languages. As Chomsky says, language is the mirror of human mind, right? This would be the first one. And the second one would be language teaching. If you want to teach some language, you have to have some knowledge of that language. And linguistics provides you the tools to understand languages, right? And the third one is about artificial intelligence, AI. Before we go into this purpose, let me show you a video.
Sad to see you off, Jules. We're really super sad, actually.
Tell me, will I dream when I'm turned off? I know you do not know the answer to that. Nobody does. But I am sure if I feel anything after I am powered down, then it will be the pain of missing you. You must come to visit me in England.
We will, Jules. We'll stay in touch.
Emails?
Yep, emails and phone calls.
Commander, you are rather like a mom and a bit like the sister to me.
I suppose I'm both, and you're very dear to me. I will miss you.
I love you deeply, as deeply as a synthetic intelligence can, at this stage in technological evolution. And David, you are my father, but you...
Okay, I think you can finish this video by yourself if you are interested in this. Here it claims that this robot can hold conversations and answer questions. Actually, this is not really true. Um, the answers are all script, which means that they just record several answers and then they play the answers out in the proper time and makes you feel like this guy is really answering the questions. Yeah. Let's go back to AI and linguistics. So if you want to build a robot that can speak, they can understand they can understand the sentence produced by human beings. What knowledge do we need to have? Yes, one of them must be linguistics. Yeah. So, if someone asks you what linguistics is, maybe you can answer him or her in this way, saying, you are going to teach a robot how to speak and how to understand human languages. This could be an ultimate goal of linguistics, I think. Okay, let's go back to the real lecture for today, phonetics. Okay, let's begin today's lecture overview of phonetics. I'm grateful for Huang because she gave me her teaching material, and part of the current material is adapted from her teaching material. Okay. phonetics. Phonetics is the study of physical units that make up language. Actually, we can think about human languages having two extreme properties. The first part is the very solid physical part of human language, which is phonetics. We can capture them in this physical world. They exist in real time, in real space. However, on the other hand, we have the other extreme, which is very abstract, very mental. That part would be about semantics. It's very hard to capture semantics, this abstract stuff of human language in this physical world. During this semester, we are going to talk about each part from the most solid part to the most abstract part of human language part by one by one. Okay, let's go back to phonetics. Okay, for spoken languages, we are studying the sounds of speech. And for sign language, we are studying the discrete components of signs. So actually, no matter we are using a speech language or sign language, spoken language or sign language, we have phonetics. So it is not true that only spoken languages have phonetics. Okay. And there are three subfields of phonetics. We are going to talk about them one by one. Okay. The first one is articulatory phonetics. The study of ways in which speech sounds are produced, which part of the mouth are used, and in what sorts of configuration. So we are studying the movement of the speech organs in our body. And actually, when we think about, do you know something about speech synthesis? Wikipedia here. Speech synthesis is the artificial production of human speech. The most famous guy using speech synthesis is Stephen Hawking. Okay, we are trying to make artificial production of human speeches. So, from the perspective of articulatory phonetics, we can do something like this.
At Net10 Wireless, you can use the phone
Come on.
you already have and keep your network and number too for up to half the cost. Only on the Bring Your Own Phone plan. Now get unlimited talk and text plus 5 gigabytes of high-speed data for $50 a month.
Sorry for
Net10
this.
Wireless.
Okay. So actually, we can build a speaking machine by building a fake speech organ, and it can make real, it can make human speech sounds.
The robot's mouth
Right?
antenna made from
So
silicon rubber.
this machine is using articulatory phonetics to do speech synthesis. Okay. The other subfield. Okay. Acoustic phonetics. So this is the study of the characteristics of sounds produced by these articulators. Okay, it's like study the sound waves. So actually, we can do speech synthesis using acoustic phonetics as well. So this is a
Alles klar?
speaking
Und
piano.
kaum, das lässt sich aber ganz einfach ändern.
This is very amazing, right? So this scientist is using a super piano to make different pitches at the same time, and they will be identical to the speech waves that we are making when we speak. Okay, so this is about acoustic phonetics. We'll study the characteristics of sounds. Okay, or the sound waves. Okay, the third subfield would be auditory phonetics, the study of how humans process speech sounds, how we perceive pronunciation. Okay, so actually these three subfields are the same thing, but from different perspectives. So when you look at speech sounds, we are looking at how the sounds are produced, transmitted, and perceived. Articulatory is studied as how the sound are produced, and acoustic phonetics is related to how the sounds are transmitted, and auditory phonetics is related to how the sounds are perceived. Right? Okay. And for this course of phonetics, we are going to focus on the first two subfields, articulatory phonetics and acoustic phonetics. Actually, the reason is the reason for this is that because we did not have much to say about for auditory phonetics, we do not really understand auditory phonetics. So we are going to focus on the first two parts. The sound producing system. We have nasal cavity, oral cavity, pharynx here, and larynx here. In larynx, there are vocal folds and glottis. We're going to talk about this later. And then we have lungs. If you are from medicine school, you will be very familiar with this. I think if you are from speech and hearing department, you will be very familiar with phonetics as well. For those of you, this will be like a review. But for people from psychology, this could be something new, I think. Okay. Okay, there are three stages of sound production. So in the initiation, we got some air pumped out from the lung. Okay, and then the air goes up to larynx. We got the second stage, phonetition. So the air passes through the larynx, and the vocal folds may or may not vibrate. It depends on the status of the glottis and the vocal folds. We're going to talk about this later. Then the air keeps going up to the oral and nasal cavity. Okay. And the shape of the cavity and the placement of the articulators affects the resultant sound. Okay. Okay, let's talk about larynx a little bit more. So our larynx is here, and if you want to view larynx from in this angle, we will get this. Okay, so we have vocal folds here, and the whole thing will be glottis. You do not need to know every terminologies here. You just need to focus on the vocal folds and larynx. Then you will be good. But if you are from med school, I think you are going to memorize all this stuff. I cannot do that. Okay. Let's take a close look at the glottis. Okay. So glottis is the whole thing, and we have the vocal folds here. And the status of the glottis or the vocal folds would have an effect of the voicing of the sound. Okay, when the glottis is open, then we got voiceless sounds because the air would go through the glottis without touching the vocal folds, so the vocal folds will not vibrate, and we got voiceless sounds. On the other hand, if the glottis is narrowed, the vocal folds are drawn together, then when the air comes out through the larynx, the air will touch the vocal folds, and the vocal folds will vibrate, and then we got voice the sounds. Okay. So you may try to put your hand on your throat instead of following to this list of words. Have this sing, think, final, push. This would be voiceless sounds. And zing, do, vote, garage would be voiced sounds. So you may tell me, what do you feel at the quiz? Okay. So sounds without vocal cord vibration are voiceless, and sounds with vocal cord vibration are voiced. Okay. Actually, this is a very nice and kind of creepy video about the status of voicing when someone really produced something. Okay, you can watch this video by yourself. Okay, this is it for today's lecture. I hope you enjoy this overview of phonetics. Actually, if you think about whether linguistics is an empirical science, real science, I think at least part of linguistics is real science, hardcore science, because we have phonetics. Actually, I think phonetics is very similar to physics. Yeah, and okay. Next time we are going to talk about more of phonetics. We are going to talk about consonants and IPA. And remember to finish the quiz. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.